I don't give a shit about your 1500 SAT score. Eat under 1500 calories a day and then I'll be impressed. If you treat her better than she treats you, she'll get bored. Don't just give her your attention. Make her earn it. She's not your co-pilot. She's your flight attendant.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 560th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. We are brought to you by Gorilla Mind Rush, the #1 non-habit-forming energy and focus supplement on the market. Be hyper-productive and laser-focused for hours with zero crash and zero jitters. Support your productivity and the show by going to donovansharpe.com/Gorilla Mind Rush to get your hands on a bottle or 7. Make sure you guys get your hands on a free copy of my ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. All you have to do is subscribe to my email list and the book is yours. And do not worry, guys. Do not worry. I'm not one to blow up your inbox with a bunch of junk mail every day. So you're not going to be dealing with junk mail, spam, or anything like that. As always, we are streaming live to Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, VK, and OK.ru. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. It is Monday, February 24th, 2020. It is good to have you guys in today. Hope everyone had a safe and restful weekend. I had quite the busy weekend myself, actually. Got a lot done. I watched the Wilder-Fury fight on Saturday night, and shockingly, that fight was never even close. Fury knocked Wilder out in the 7th. It was a TKO after having knocked him down twice through rounds 1 through 6. It was actually, like I said, it was actually a TKO. The referee stepped in after Fury just peppered him with punches. It was literally just target practice for Tyson Fury. And Wilder's corner actually threw in the towel too, as we later saw on the replay. I can't remember whether it was before or after Kenny Bayless, the referee, stepped in and stopped the fight. But either way, Wilder never had a chance in this fight. Fury came in at 273 pounds, which is 17 pounds more than the first fight. And the weight gain, which was obviously solid muscle, just looking at his frame, didn't hurt his speed at all. Fury put on an absolute clinic on Saturday night, and he just outclassed Wilder from the opening bell. Fury said he was going to knock him out, and he went out there and did just that. Also been working on a few projects, plugging away at my new courses, and I am in the infancy stages of putting together my 3-event tour, which will start around the end of the summer, and it'll extend into the fall. I've narrowed down the list of cities, and as of right now, it looks like the 3 cities are going to be Atlanta, Miami, and Reno. Atlanta, Miami, Reno. That may or may not change depending upon a few different factors, but at this point, it is more likely than not that the ATL, the 305, and the biggest little city in the world are going to be the destination cities for my meetup weekend workshop events this summer and fall. So stay tuned for more details on that as I make more progress. All right, let's get right to it. As children, we have all had things that we really, really wanted in life. We saw a toy on television. We told our parents, I want that for Christmas, or I want that for my birthday. Throughout our childhoods, there were various things that we felt like we had to have. For me, it was things like the Cobra Knight Raven from G.I. Joe, the BMX bike you saw on TV, that remote control car your buddy had. There are dozens of things that we have all really, really wanted as children. But when we hit a certain age, we see that one thing that we really, really want. The thing you cannot stop thinking about, the thing you asked your parents for, and for the first time in your life, they told you, listen, if you want it, you have to save up for it. You need to buy it for yourself. We're not going to buy it for you. You need to buy this for you. That item for me were the Reebok pumps. Those of you who are men of a certain age, you guys remember the Reebok pumps. The Reebok pumps, it was a basketball shoe. It was a basketball shoe that was all the rage back in the early 90s. And what you could do is there was a little basketball-shaped pump on the tongue, and you could pump it up to sort of tighten up the shoe. Okay, it was the first shoe on the market that had sort of other than the shoelaces or Velcros, that had something other than shoelaces or Velcros that you could adjust to make the shoe fit to you. And they looked really, really fucking cool. Now, they came out, I think, on Thanksgiving weekend in 1989, and every kid whose parents could afford them had them. So, like every other 12-year-old kid, I asked my mom if I could have them for Christmas, and she said, "No, Donovan, $55 is way too much to spend on a pair of sneakers. If you want them," she told me, "you'll need to save up for them and buy them yourself." Now, fortunately for me, I lived in Hawaii at the time. And the reason that's significant is because I was going to mow as many lawns as I could possibly mow to get those shoes. I charged $5 a lawn. Every once in a while, I'd get a dollar tip or two. And after about a month and a half of cutting grass and saving every penny, I finally had enough to get them. I saved every penny I earned, and I finally had enough to get the Reebok pumps. I will never, ever forget. I'll never, ever forget, as long as I lived, walking into the BX, which is short for base exchange, which is those of you military guys, that's the military's version of Walmart. But I remember walking in there and buying those Reebok pumps and how happy I was to finally get them. I had mowed, I think, almost a dozen lawns to be able to afford those shoes. Now, as a 12-year-old kid, that was the first time in my life that I realized that if I really wanted something, that I was going to have to work for it. It was not going to be given to me. That is a lesson that has stayed with me to this day. Unfortunately for women, as you know, I'm going to bring it around, that lesson appears to have eluded them. At least that's what it seems. Despite what most women say out loud or on social media, they know that there are costs associated to locking down a man of value. No matter how many times they talk about being good enough to have whatever they want, they know that there are costs associated with getting the attention of the men they want to be with. One of the ways I like to view today's dating market is credit, in terms of as in good credit versus bad credit, right? In the world of credit, you have your high-risk customers and you have your low-risk customers. A customer with a low credit score is a high risk, and of course, a customer with a high credit score is a low risk. Now, obviously, their income, their debt-to-income ratios were obviously also factors in assessing the kind of risk. That, of course, gives you different customers of varying risks. But in credit terms, most women have terrible relationship credit. Most women have defaulted on their payments, and just about all of their relationships have been repossessed or foreclosed on. So if we're using a credit scale, I would say that the average American woman probably has a credit score of about 420. Yes, there is the rare girl out there who has credit into the mid-700s because she was raised by a strong father. She didn't get fat, she kept her virginity, and didn't get any tattoos. But those girls are few and far between, and they never stay on the market for long. You guys have heard me talk about this before. If an American female in this country can make it to 18 years old without getting fat, without losing her virginity, without starting smoking, and without getting tattoos or irregular piercings, that woman has hit the lottery. She can literally write her own ticket. She's set for life. 18 years old, virgin, doesn't get fat, doesn't smoke, no tattoos or piercing. She's set for life. She could lock down any high value man she desires. She could absolutely lock down. But most women these days have foreclosures on their relationship credit. They have repossessions on their relationship credit. They've got hospital bills on their relationship credit. They've got unpaid student loans. And of course, department store debt into the 5 figures. Now, most of us know and understand that in order to build and repair your credit is to pay down your debt, right? Spend smart, save money, make financially sound decisions, deprive yourself of useless, expensive indulgences. It is very, very difficult to do, but if you really, really work at it and you stay consistent, you can and will rebuild your credit to make yourself a lower risk customer, which of course gives you more opportunities to purchase things on credit. Now, women could do the same things in their dating lives. They could stop sleeping around. They could most certainly get into better shape. Women could eat better. They could stop drinking. They can make better decisions when it comes to men. They can stop doing hard drugs. They can stop smoking. But because we all know that most women are not interested in doing what's difficult, it should come as no surprise that they have come up with several different ways to circumvent the costs associated with locking down a high-value male. In other words, today's women have figured out how to get something for nothing. They figured out how to get something, which is a man's commitment, for almost nothing. And they usually do this in one of three ways, guys. Stay with me here. Again, we're still in the world of credit. Okay? The first way, number one, the first way is the down payment and default method. This is the girl that puts down a sizable down payment in the form of kindness, femininity, good behavior, sexual openness, sexual availability, a nice body, willingness to make you a priority. Now, this girl's expectations are reasonable. She's the girl who understands that she has to give a man a reason to want to commit to her. She doesn't expect something for nothing, at least not yet. So she makes her down payment, right? She makes that down payment because she understands that's what she has to do. That down payment is enough to drive the car off the lot, or in dating terms, get and keep the attraction of attractive men. Now, she'll make those payments on time for the first few months, but after a while, she'll start making her payments a little bit late. She's not watching what she eats quite as closely as she used to. She's only working out twice a week instead of 5 days a week like when you first met her. She's not as enthusiastic about giving you sex as she once was. She stopped sucking your dick, and she doesn't dress as sexy for you quite often as she used to when you guys used to go out. Well, before you know it, she stopped making those payments altogether. But instead of repossessing her car, what do most guys do, guys? Most guys let her continue to drive the car even though she hasn't made a payment in months. Then, when guys attempt to meagerly call her up and say, Miss Smith, you haven't made a payment in a few months. It'd be great if you could make a payment, but if you can't, it's no big deal. We'll certainly give you a few more months to catch up. This is the equivalent of saying, hey, babe, I've noticed you've put on a few pounds. Can you hit the gym? And while you're at it, I haven't gotten a blowjob in quite a while, and sex kind of seems to be dropping off. Can we go back to where we were in the beginning when we first met? And the answer is always going to be no. Why in the world would your girlfriend or wife work for something you've been giving her for free for the last 6 months? Well, it's for the same reason they're never going to make another payment for a car she's been allowed to drive around without making any payments. Why pay for a car that they're letting you drive for nothing, right? I certainly wouldn't. The second way that women get around the costs of locking down a man of value is the low down payment, zero interest for 6 months girl. Now, she looks a little bit better than most girls. She's usually, I don't know, maybe like a 7.5 or up. She's got a great body. She stays in shape. She is sexually open and willing, has a pretty good temperament. Now, she doesn't really cook, doesn't really clean, and she'll only dress up when she feels like it. But for most guys, she is sexy enough to allow her to slack off in some areas. Now, this girl's expectations are a little bit higher because in her mind, looking better than most girls, in her mind, again, is enough to warrant the commitment of a high caliber guy. So the first 6 months goes by, and the girl doesn't do anything to improve herself, which is fine. That was the deal. 0 payments for 6 months, 0 interest. So on month 7, her boyfriend expects that first payment, but guess what? That first payment never comes, guys. Not only is she not trying to improve herself, her fitness level falls off. The sex drops off. And she's getting more and more neurotic and bitchy by the day. Once again, we pick up that phone. We make that phone call. Miss Smith, you were supposed to make your first payment, but we haven't received it yet. But guys, Miss Smith never intended on making that payment in the first place. Why? Because she felt like her down payment was enough to just buy the car. And once again, because we let her drive the car or stay in the relationship without making a payment or improving herself, she doesn't feel the need to make a payment or improve herself. This is why I always talk about the fact that you must always demand your woman's best. If you do not do this consistently, she is going to fall off. It's inevitable. People get complacent, they get lazy. This is how this works. The third way women attempt to circumvent the costs of locking down a high-value male is the girl who not only doesn't feel like she doesn't have to make a down payment in the form of bringing attractive traits and characteristics to the table, she doesn't feel like she should have to make payments altogether. She feels like her very presence and company are more than enough to warrant the commitment of any man out there. Now, incidentally enough, this is the girl who has the highest expectations. This is the girl who has a laundry list of requirements that men need to meet in order to be given the privilege of being in her very presence. Funny how that works, right? The less women tend to bring to the table, the more entitled they tend to feel, the more they feel like they deserve in a man. Anyway, this is the woman who literally wants something for nothing and is unwilling to work for it, which brings us to today's topic. And listen, shout out to Joe for submitting this topic. Joe sent me a video. He sent me a video of a woman, in her, give me 1 second. She's a woman in her late 30s who went on the Steve Harvey show. There we go. She went on the Steve Harvey show, and what ended up happening is she gave Steve Harvey her list of things that she requires to be a candidate to date her. Now, I'm not going to break down the video, okay? But I will discuss what's on her list. If I were to break down the video, guys, it would take far too long to get through this thing, right? But before we do that, let's take a look at this woman. Guys, obviously, she's not even that attractive. She's mildly, kind of, sort of attractive, but she's not that attractive. I'd probably put her at a 5.5 maybe. And keep in mind, she's on television. She's got on the best makeup. The cameras probably have filters on it. First off, she's not in good shape at all. She's got a little flab on her arms. And she has weird-looking teeth, for that matter. This is a woman, unfortunately for her, she was blessed with good genetics, but she's not taking advantage of those genetics. You can tell the look of a woman who's been blessed with good genetics who don't hit the gym. She's not fat, but she's not exactly in the best shape she could be either. You look right there in those arms, right in the crease. Right in the crease. You see right in the crease of her armpits. Yeah, just a little bit fat. A little bit flabby there. Right? You can barely see her collarbone, which means she's not in as good a shape as she can be. This woman, guys, is just fuckable enough. She's not ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but she is far from a woman who feels like she shouldn't have to make a quote-unquote down payment. It is amazing to me that the better-looking women than her are willing to work harder to get and keep a man worth a damn, but here she is, a 5 at best, looking for her version of a 10. So let's go ahead and take a look at her quote-unquote requirements to grace us with her presence in the form of a sexual relationship. And that, of course, is if we make the cut. So if you guys are looking at your screen, I'm just going to read this first column. You guys can see 3 columns. There are plenty more columns. But I'm going to go ahead and do this column by column. So the first few requirements, her ideal man must be the age of 30 to 45. He must be financially stable. He must not have any children. He's got to be 5'10" or taller. She's no hookups or flings. Must be ready to settle down. No roommates. Gotta be a non-smoker. He must love desserts and can't be anti-sugar. Now, the first thing that jumps out to my mind is that no children, right? So let's just take that first column and leave out no children. A man who's 30 to 45 years old, who's financially stable, right? He's a non-smoker. He can't be anti-sugar. He's supposed to be this good-looking guy. This guy is supposed to not have any children? This guy who's supposed to be financially stable, he's supposed to be this all-world everything man that every woman wants. So she wants every woman to want him, But she doesn't want him to take advantage of the women that want him. This is a woman who clearly, and Alpha Male Strategies talks about this on occasion. She's looking for a loyal alpha. Because guess what? A woman like her, if she were to find this tall, dark, and handsome guy, and she says, oh my God, he has no children, you know what she's going to do? She's going to say, he doesn't have any children. I wonder what's wrong with him. Right? I wonder what's wrong with him. He doesn't have any children. He's 6'3". He's 235 pounds. He's muscle bound. He's got six-pack abs. He's got a 3-foot dick. Oh my God, he doesn't have any children. Oh, that's so awesome. Wait a minute. Why doesn't he have children? Again, let me scroll back. This is what this woman looks like. This is what this woman looks like. These are her requirements. And guys, we're not even close to being done with her requirements. This is just a part of her list. What this first column shows us is that she is in her mid to late 30s. This woman's name is Heather. Now, Donovan, how do you know this woman is in her mid to late 30s? Well, this is easy. Take a look at what she's prioritizing. Women who are young and beautiful aren't worried about financial stability or a dude ready to settle down. Now, they certainly might date these guys exclusively, at least for a little while, but a 21-year-old girl isn't thinking about getting married or having kids yet because they've still got all the time in the world. Young women used to be interested in having a family, but feminism has told them that this is oppressive and that marriage should be put off until they're in their mid-30s when they're all used up. But going back to this first column, you can tell that this woman has been passed around because everything on this list and in this column says a guy can't have are traits that men in her past have had. The guys she used to bang were smokers. The guys she used to fuck on a moment's notice, all they wanted was to hook up. The guys that she slept with in her 20s were never ready to settle down. The guys that she was sleeping with on the regular always lived with 2 or 3 of their buddies. But now that she is, quote, older and more mature, guess what, guys? She prioritizes financial stability. Then right there at the bottom, which is this is actually kind of funny, but a lot of people probably wouldn't pick up on this. It says a guy cannot be anti-sugar. And if you watch the video, her explanation was that because she's the CEO of her own frosting company, and so the guy can't be anti-sugar. Gentlemen, this whole anti-sugar thing has nothing to do with sugar. Well, what does it have to do with, Donovan? I'll tell you. It has everything to do with calling herself a CEO. Because she thinks that because she's a CEO, that she deserves to be with men who are CEOs. Dude, this chick has no idea what a CEO even does. All she knows is that the title of CEO carries a lot of weight and has decided to place that label on herself to look like a quote-unquote boss bitch who deserves a high-value male. And by the way, on the video, Heather says that she's been, quote, dating for 8 years. She can't find a man even though she's searched for 8 years, which we all know means that she's been on the carousel for damn near a decade. Let's go to the next column here. She says her ideal man must be honest, must be reliable, must be sweet and kind. Interesting. Must be quick-witted, must be romantic, must love food, must pay on the first date. No flowers, she says, on the first date. Of course, no flowers on the first date. That's cute. Must be a social drinker. Must never wear sweatpants. Ay. She wants a beta male, guys. That's what she wants. She wants a beta male. She won't say it, but it's as clear as day now, guys. This is what she wants. She's requiring a man to pay on the first date, to be romantic, to be sweet and kind. She wants someone she can walk all over. But she also wants someone to be, quote, quick-witted. So she's looking for what all women look for, which is an alpha male with beta traits. And I'm telling you, these men don't exist. At least not anymore. You can't be sweet and kind and romantic and quick-witted here in 2020. Don't get me wrong, guys. It is certainly possible. And men used to be sweet, kind, romantic, and quick-witted. But today's men who are quick-witted are anything but sweet and kind because, of course, our culture has literally trained that out of us, at least if you want to be successful with women. If you are sweet and kind, you are punished by women. Women don't respond well to good treatment. Low-quality women, these sluts out here running around, they don't respond well to men who treat them well. They like the quick wittiness, but they don't like men who are sweet and kind and reliable and honest. They don't like these things. At least they pretend not to like them. Because women, of course, are not turned on by genuinely good guy traits. Oh, no. They want the bad boy alphas because the bad boy alphas are really the only kind of masculinity they're exposed to on a regular basis. Right down there at the bottom, she says, must never wear sweatpants. Now, this is actually quite funny. Her explanation for must never wear sweatpants is she used to date this guy who always wanted to wear sweatpants to Starbucks or sweatpants to breakfast. And she says, quote, this just isn't something that guy shouldn't be doing. Who the fuck, so what, she's making the fucking rules? What you guys will see as we go through this list is she has very, very specific requirements. And anytime a woman has a specific requirement where you're like, dude, what the fuck? That means that requirement is something that an ex-boyfriend or an ex-lover used to have. Make no mistake, if it is on this list, she is absolutely turned on by that guy. Well, he must never wear sweatpants. I can promise you that Mr. Sweatpants, if you were to call her right now, she'd be whisked off Steve Harvey's stage and up under him quicker than a whore quicker than a stripper on a pole when the rent's due. You kidding me? No flowers on the first date. Now that is absolutely true. Women do not like flowers on the first date, at least not today's women, because again, remember, kindness, that is a sign of weakness. Isn't it funny how it contradicts itself? Must be sweet and kind, yet right there just below says no flowers on the first date. Guys, giving a girl flowers is sweet. Giving a girl flowers is kind, right? Giving a girl flowers is romantic. Must be sweet and kind, must be romantic, no flowers on the first date. Do you see how women contradict themselves? They never know what the fuck they want. If you guys are looking on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side of your screen, let's go down this other column here that she has. He must be adventurous. He must be humble. Must be spontaneous. Must be a planner. Can't be self-centered. Can't be cocky. Must love dogs. Can't own a dog from a breeder. Can't be jealous of her dog. Can't own a cat. Jesus fucking Christ. Ay. So she wants someone who's adventurous, humble, spontaneous, a planner, but not self-centered or cocky. Yeah, there's one of those traits that one of her ex-boyfriends or ex-fuckflings used to have, right? The guys she used to fuck in her 20s were absolutely self-centered and cocky. Oh, don't get me wrong. They were spontaneous and adventurous. They were not humble. Again, guys, what you will see through this list is that she is putting down traits of her ex-boyfriends, ex-lovers, etc., but then trying to sprinkle in those beta traits. I want a man who's adventurous and spontaneous and cocky, or I want a man who's adventurous and humble, adventurous and spontaneous, but I want him to be humble. I want him to be, he can't be self-centered, he can't be cocky. Sweetheart, Heather, men who are adventurous and spontaneous are never humble. They are always self-centered, and you better believe they're fucking cocky. Again, she wants beta traits in an alpha male. Then, of course, she says, well, she can't own a dog from a breeder. Her explanation was, well, if he buys a dog, if he spends the money for a purebred dog, that says something about his character, and I don't like it. What? So now, all of a sudden, this woman who is pushing 40 is making judgments on a man's character for wanting to buy a purebred dog? There's something wrong with a man because he wants to know exactly what he's getting. He doesn't want to go adopt an animal because who knows, it might have been a fighting dog. Or it might piss in the house. It might eat shoes. Listen, shelter dogs are in the shelter for a reason. Guys, men understand this. Women do not. This is why men, more times than not, are all for purebred dogs. Guys, I have 2 dogs. They are both Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. 1000% purebred. Now, our cats are adopted because cats they pretty much all act the same. Dogs, not so much. Dogs are in the shelter for a reason. Now, if you want to rescue a dog, that's fine. But for this woman to say that a man who doesn't rescue a dog from the shelter, there's something wrong with him, sweetheart, you better look in the mirror, baby girl. Because I'm going to tell you something else. A woman in today's dating market is absolutely like a shelter dog. You guys who have followed me any number of time for a number of years, you guys have read my article on Return of Kings, and You guys have also, if you guys are my patrons, rather, you guys have seen my episode, Why Women in Today's Dating Market Are Just Like Shelter Dogs. Shelter dogs represent today's single women, guys. Shelter dogs are passed from owner to owner because none of the owners can handle them. Well, same with women. Women jump from man to man and they end up back in the shelter because the man doesn't really know how to handle them. A shelter dog who pisses in the house and can't be potty trained is akin to a woman who can't stop drinking and can't behave herself. Right? A shelter dog who chews on the furniture and attacks the cat is the same as a female who cheats on her boyfriends all the time. There are many, many similarities between women, today's women, and shelter dogs. This is exactly why females today are all about shelter dogs, because they identify with the plight of the shelter dog. So in her mind, what she's really saying is, well, that speaks to your character. If you don't want a shelter dog, no. Translation. If you don't want to rescue a shelter dog, then you're not going to want to be with a woman like me, who is what? Just like a shelter dog. The can't own a cat thing, I don't know, maybe she's allergic to cats. Or maybe she's being a fucking control freak. Let's move to the next column. This is absolutely fucking hilarious, guys. Must be in shape, can't have six-pack abs. Like, what? Must be in shape, can't have six-pack abs, can't be too skinny, can't have a runner's physique, can't be stronger than me. You know what this is, guys? The guys who used, again, this is the guy or guys who used to pump and dump her. The guys she used to fuck back in her 20s, guess what? Six-pack abs, right? Now, of course, can't be too skinny. Obviously, no woman wants a man who's too skinny. And then, of course, you jump down, it says can't be stronger than me, right? So she wants a man who physically can't impose his will on her. What this woman doesn't understand is that what she is describing here is a man that she's not attracted to. She's not going to be sexually aroused by this guy. Gotta be in shape, but you can't have six-pack abs. No. She doesn't want you to be fat and out of shape and not too skinny, but you can't have six-pack abs because this douchebag Kevin in sales I used to work with used to ass fuck me in the parking lot and he left me high and dry. Right? Can't have a runner's physique. She used to date someone who was a runner or in a runner's physique. Can't be stronger than me, says, I want a man that I can bully. Unbelievable. Let's move to the next slide. Can't be obsessed with sports. Can't be a hunter. Can't own a boat. Can't be a gamer. Can't be materialistic. What do people who love sports, hunt, go boating, own a boat, and game? What do all those things have in common? They are hobbies outside of her. So what this woman is saying with these first four on this slide is you can't have hobbies in your life that do not involve me. You cannot have a life outside of your relationship with me. Once again, women are not aroused by men who don't have a life without them. So she meets this guy who's not obsessed with sports, doesn't hunt, doesn't own a boat, he's not a gamer, he doesn't do anything but hang around her. You know what she's going to be saying in 6 months? Ugh, God, he crowds me all the time. I feel like we spend so much time together. You're crowding me. I need my space, blah, 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 blah. Well, wait a minute. You said basically you want a guy to stay in the house the whole time. Then, of course, this whole can't be materialistic, that's virtue signaling. Because by telling us that she doesn't want a man who isn't materialistic, she is saying that she is not materialistic. But dude, she's got a list of 4,700 fucking requirements that she wants in a man. But she doesn't want a man who is materialistic. Must respect a gluten-free diet, she says. Can't be too close to family and friends. Must open doors for me. Must be willing to move to someplace warm. The gluten-free diet, listen, just because you eat gluten-free doesn't mean I'm going to eat gluten-free, right? But guess what? If she were to actually meet a man that she both respects and loves, she's not going to worry about a gluten-free diet. I say this all the time, guys. Women don't have any steadfast beliefs or disciplines. They follow and believe what the strongest men in their lives believe. If the strongest man in her life is a vegan, she's going to be a vegan. If the strongest man in her life does the paleo diet, she's going to do the paleo diet. If the strongest man in her life is on the gluten-free diet, she's going to be on the gluten-free diet. Guys, this is how this works. So again, this is a shit test. Must respect a gluten-free diet. If I were to date this chick And she says, well, you got to respect the gluten-free diet. I'll be like, sweetheart, I'll expect it all you want to, but I'm going to eat gluten. And if you don't like it, then you can get the fucking stepping. The can't be too close to family or friends. Let me go back to the previous slide. Women talk all the time about guys who are controlling. He wants to isolate you. He wants to control your life. He doesn't want you to go anywhere or do anything. So you can't be obsessed with sports, can't be a hunter, can't own a boat, can't be a gamer, can't be too close to family and friends. So basically, she wants a gimp on a leash that she can control. That's what this is. And guess what? This is not attractive to women, guys. This is not arousing to women. Everything that she's putting on this list, if she were, not that it would be possible for any one, dude, this is impossible for 5 guys to come. If 5 guys created this man version of Voltron, even they wouldn't be able to live up to these expectations. But they can't be too close to family and friends. This is a woman who wants you isolated so that she can control you. And a woman that a man that a woman control is not attractive to women. Must open doors for me. What that is saying is that I expect you to treat me like a lady, even though I haven't proved to you that I am a lady, right? Must pay on a first date. I think we saw that, or maybe I'm jumping the gun. But any woman who requires ladylike behavior, like right from the jump, knows that she's not ladylike. Ladies, you are entitled to gentlemanly treatment. Well, where have all the gentlemen gone? Blah, 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 blah. Well, if you broads would stop fucking dudes on the first date, maybe they treat you like a lady. You can't expect, listen, if you give a guy a blowjob 27 minutes after meeting them, you can't expect him to hold doors. If you don't act respectful, he is not going to respect you. That's how this works. So if I ass fuck you on the first date and give you ass to mouth and I don't open doors for you, you can't be surprised at that. That's not the way it works. Must be willing to move someplace warm. I don't think the temperature really matters here. But what she is saying is that, listen, man, if you're going to be with me, you're going to move wherever the hell I want you to move. Again, she's looking for a man to control, and women do not like men they can control. That's all there is to it. Here we go. Must love traveling. Can't brag about traveling. Must maintain eye contact. Can't be a party boy. Can't be intimidated by me. Must love traveling. Translation, you must have the means to be able to travel. Can't brag about traveling. Translation, I used to fuck a guy who used to brag about traveling. Must maintain eye contact. This is just her endorsing strong masculine behavior. Can't be a party boy. She used to bang party boys. Can't be intimidated by me. Dude, when women complain that men are quote unquote intimidated by them, to me, that to me is absolutely the most inaccurate description of a woman. There is nothing about women that are intimidating on any level, and women know this. But again, this goes back to that whole CEO. Well, I'm the CEO of a frosting company, so men are intimidated by me. Bitch, your net worth is $17. Your little wannabe frosting company probably has a valuation of $117. Nobody's fucking intimidated by you. Then she says, this is actually, believe it or not, going to be, this is the last thing on her list, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is the last thing on her list. The last thing on her list, favorite season can't be fall. Her explanation for this, and Steve Harvey asked her this, he says, favorite season can't be fall, what the hell? You want to know what her rationale was? Well, everybody's favorite season is the fall. You're just the same as everybody else. Ay. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Guys are always shocked. They're always shocked why basic bitches like this have these ridiculous expectations. And the reason is simple, and it's something I talk about all the time. And the reason for this is that women conflate sexual attention with the desire to commit. Today's women feel that men who want to fuck them must also want to commit to them, and they never figure out that they're wrong until it's too late. This is why the older women get, the higher their standards become, because in their mind, 361 cocks in her past means 361 relationship offers in her past. So when they finally decide to settle down at age 39, they don't realize that they're in no position to be as selective as they once were. And when she's 44 and still single, that's when it hits her. Men only use me for sex and are uninterested in a relationship because I'm not 24. But get this, guys. Some women never actually get it. We actually have 46-year-old women running around here with lists longer than this one. So on the other side of the break, I know you guys are itching to talk to me. On the other side of the break, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to get your thoughts on the unrealistic expectations that women have of men. I'd like to hear your personal stories or stories you've heard about women with unrealistic expectations. I will also be shouting out the super chats and talking to my premium chatters. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Gentlemen, if you want the blueprint on how to mold and shape a woman into exactly what you want and need, you need to get your hands on my 7-hour 5-part audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. This is 7 hours of rock-solid intel on how to build a female brick by brick into the kind of woman you want and need. Part 1 deals with the vetting process. I teach you how to select the right candidate by telling you what to look for and, more importantly, what not to look for in a woman. Part 2 deals with the training process. I take you step by step through the procedures that prepare a female for what it's like to be in a relationship with a man like you. I educate you on setting the tone early in order to reduce and possibly eliminate any and all behaviors that could potentially cause trouble in your relationship down the road. In Part 3, I instruct you on how to set and enforce boundaries and expectations. I teach you how to be direct when communicating your expectations in such a way that leaves nothing to interpretation. Part 4 will cover the sexual side of your relationship, how to dominate her sexually, and how you can make yourself unforgettable to her even if you're not the most well-endowed lover she's ever been with, will be discussed extensively. I will also teach you the ins and outs of deep conversion game, which is the art of verbally and physically dominating her body, her mind, and her soul. And finally, Part 5 will teach you how not to sabotage your relationship, how to maintain it, and what to do on the off chance that your woman gets out of line or out of pocket. Now, it's very important for you guys to understand that this course is based on personal experience. I'm not giving you guys hypotheticals or theories. These are techniques I use in my own relationship to this day, and anyone who follows me has seen that my techniques work and work well. Now, this isn't a cheat code or a magic bullet either, guys. This course isn't a turn her into the woman you've always wanted using this one weird trick, or how to make any woman your sexy, submissive sex slave with these 3 magical phrases. No. That's not what this is. So if that's what you're looking for, keep your money. To train a woman to look, act, and submit like a woman should takes time, hard work, consistency, and maintenance. If you are willing to put in the work, go to donovansharpe.com/courses to get your hands on the only relationship guide that actually works by the only man who has shown that it works. Again, that's donovansharpe.com/courses. The link is in the description. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for sticking around, guys. You are watching the 560th edition of TSR Live on a Monday. If you'd like to get your hands on my premium content, you need to become a patron. Access to the entire archive from episode 1, audio versions of the daily show, which can be played at different speeds and downloaded directly to your device for your convenience, as well as weekly webinars hosted by myself. You will also get access to exclusive videos for patrons only, like how to reduce flaking, a red pill Valentine's Day, and why working for yourself isn't all it's cracked up to be. Yesterday, I released a video on how I safely and effectively increased the size of my penis and continue to do so even to this day, and much, much more. So go to patreon.com/DonovanSharpe to get access to this unbelievable content. Area code 323, I see you in the queue, followed by 512. Give me just a few minutes to shout out my super chats. Big thanks goes out to Joshua Wafer, says, I saw this, and this is exactly why I have went MGTOW. Well, Josh, I appreciate the super chat. I think what you meant to say is, this is why I took the red pill, right? Like when, and again, men have to be very, very careful about saying, well, I saw this and I gone MGTOW. What that says to me is that you have checked out of the dating market. If that's what you've done, then just call it that. But technically, I'm a MGTOW. I have gone my own way. Yes, I cohabitate with a woman, but I will never, ever marry Devin. You fucking kidding me? Devin and I will never, ever, ever have children. If she wants kids, she can go and get them from somewhere else, and then my relationship with her is over. MGTOWs and red pillars are literally the same thing. So when a guy says, that's why I've gone MGTOW, that says to me, Josh, and listen, I appreciate the $20, but I'm going to call it like I see it here. Sounds to me like you're saying that you're going to check out of the dating market because women are just too difficult to deal with. I certainly don't blame you, but let's stop calling this I've gone MGTOW like that's the easy thing to do. Going MGTOW is not the easy thing to do. Taking the red pill is not the easy thing to do. If you Josh feel like you just can't deal with women anymore, listen, me of all people, all the shit I've been through with women, I do not blame you. But let's call it that. Let's not try and make it look like you're making the unbelievably difficult choice of foregoing all sexual relationships with women. If you're going to go MGTOW, just say you took the red pill. Don't tell me that you've gone anywhere. Falcon RS, good to see you in here, the newest member of TSR Towers. Appreciate that. He now has chat privileges. Thomas Munier with the €2 super chat. Oh, yeah, that's €2. He says, monk or pump and dump, hashtag 2020, hashtag no more simping. Brian Washington, welcome to TSR Towers. The phone lines are queuing up. I'm going to get to you guys in just a second. MT909, blah, 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 with the $5 super chat says, a typical entitled over-the-hill plain Jane. What else is new? Yeah, right? Thomas Munier asks a question with his €5 super chat. Says, Donovan, what percentage of Western millennial women, quote, men, actually, 24 to 40, do you think are red pill or MGTOW these days? Press the like button. I think millennials, listen, I'm 42, and I'm not a millennial. And I think millennials, what's the cutoff date? Forgive me, I'm going to look this up here. Millennial age range. Okay, so anyone born between 81 and 96 are said to be millennials. Wow, holy fucking shit. So Thomas Munier was actually quite right. Wow, so anyone born between 1981 and 1996, ages 23 to 38 in 2019. So at this point, yeah, ages 24 to 40. I'll be goddamned. Well, 24 to 39, it looks like. But damn, Thomas Munier fucking called me out. Goddamn, I thought I knew. Okay, well, all right, good question, man. What percentage do I think are red-pilled? I think that probably, I would say that at least 50% of millennial men are not red pill, but they're red pill aware. I mean, the internet is where the red pill started. And of course, millennial men, we all have access, all of you guys have access to the internet. We all have the internet. So I would say that I would say 50 to 60% not have been red pill, but they're aware of the red pill. So I would put the number at about half, 50%. Bramble Bush with the $10 super chat says, I think this list is her coping mechanism. She's making a huge list of qualities she knows she will never, and if she does, no guy that high value will want her. Either that or delusions are insanity. I agree. There's no way on God's green earth that she actually believes she's going to find somebody out here. I think she actually said it on the video. Listen, no man will ever measure up to that. Like, sweetie, have you seen what you look like? Like, she's not a bad-looking woman, but dude, she ain't good enough to be making... There is not a woman on the face of this earth. I don't care if you're fucking... I can't even think of a good-looking woman right now. I don't care if a 21-year-old 10 in her prime, nobody's living up to that. That's not worth it. But this chick is, what, 38, 39 years old, and she's frumpy looking? Fuck out of here, man. I'm going with delusions. Bramblebush. Blatant. With the 2 British pounds. She was on the Steve Harvey show a year ago, even lower SMV. Sergio Cordoba with the 20 MXs. I don't know what those are, but I appreciate it. Ace and Spades with the $2 super chat says, still pumped and waiting on the womanese course. Ace and Spades, listen, my friend. I appreciate the $2 super chat, but you ask me every day about the womanese course. It is going to come out when it comes out, okay? Like, this is like the third or fourth show in a row that you've sent me a $2 super chat. Hey, can't wait on the course. That course is far from being finished. I'm working on it, but I'll get to it when I get to it. Don't be impatient, ace in spades. Good things come to those who wait. Area code 323-512-918 and 727 in that order. Let's go to the phone lines. Area code 323, you're on Live with Donovan. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Mr. Sharpe, how are you doing? My name is Brian. I'm calling from New York.
Brian in New York. How you doing, brother?
Nothing much. I just wanted to chime in on the lesson, which I attended late today. But something that I did not see on the list, and that I know she wanted to, but I'm pretty sure that the producers weren't going to give it a go-ahead unless if I missed it, but that she would prefer a well-endowed man.
Ooh. You know what? I agree. And of course, and this is interesting, Brian, because girls who have slept around, they love to, how can I say this? They love to say that size doesn't matter, right? Size only matters to sluts. If a girl has slept around, of course size matters, because the more guys you sleep with, the better the odds of you meeting a guy who is really, really well hung. But a girl who says that she requires a big dick and a boyfriend or a relationship, that is a slutty characteristic, right? Girls will say, well, listen, I like big dicks, but it's not required. Size doesn't matter. But the reason why she probably didn't put that on there is because she didn't want to look like a slut. I don't think it was the producers at all. I think that's what she wants, but she's afraid to ask for it.
Correct. And it reminded me of this other video, and I don't mean to put anyone else out there, but there's other content creators that I watch.
Yeah, it's fine.
But relevant to your video, there's one thing that I wanted to say to this. Since she couldn't put that on there, us red pill men understand one simple fact. She can get a man that matches all of her criteria, which is not going to happen because we both know that it ain't going to happen.
Right.
But us red pill men understand a simple fact. A woman can at some point, quote, have it all, but she will never be happy.
Right.
Only she can determine if she's going to be happy, and we can't do that for her. So at the end of the day, that's part of the reason why you just got to end up focusing on what makes you happy. And if the people who want to be in your life want to be there, they're going to be there.
That's right. That's right. And thanks for the call, Brian. I actually respectfully disagree with what Brian just says, and I think he would agree. I think he probably meant to put this another way. What he said is that we are not responsible for a woman's happiness. This is 100% correct. But a woman who has it all is never really happy. And the reason she isn't happy is because she doesn't have a man. A woman can have a career. She can have money. She can travel. She can have all these amazing things. She can have this amazing life. It is never as fulfilling for her if she doesn't have a man. Women need men. Men do not need women. In order for a woman to truly be happy, a man has to be in her life. This is 100% guaranteed. No matter how much a woman has, no matter how much wealth she's amassed, no matter how far she is in her career, no matter what toys she has, no matter how much she can travel, if she doesn't have a man, she's never truly happy. So while we don't require a woman to be truly happy, women absolutely require a man to be happy. Good call there by Brian in New York. All right, let's go to area code 512. Area code 512, you're on Live at Donovan. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas, Mr. Sharpe.
Okay, and your first name?
My first name is Kumar.
Kumar in Texas. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It might be a little windy. I don't know if you can hear me properly.
Yeah, I can hear you. I hear you just fine.
Okay, so am I limited to one question or what's the deal here?
Yeah, just keep it short. Keep it short.
Okay. So I'm in my 20s. My one question is how do I prevent myself from returning to the plantation? Because it's easy right now to be MGTOW and red pill, but then what if some bad bitch comes up, you know what I'm saying, and she's treating me right for a while?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do I not return to the plantation?
Yeah, this is a very hard truth you're going to have to understand, Kumar, is you're not necessarily going to return to the plantation, but you are going to fall and bust your nose. You are going to revert back to your blue pill ways. The first bad bitch you ever hook up with who actually wants to commit to you, you're going to commit to her. And guess what? That relationship isn't going to work out. Experience, as they say, is the best teacher. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get either going to be super self-aware and never commit to any one woman, or you're just going to have to allow yourself to make these mistakes, but never, ever, ever lose red pill consciousness. Because this happened to me, Kumar. Look, the first 10 I ever committed to, she cheated on me. That's just how it was. I was devastated and heartbroken. Guess what? 2 months after that, I committed to another blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl. Her name was Tatiana. She's from either Ukraine or Russia. I've never loved anything in this life as much as I loved her. I was the side dude. I had no idea she had a boyfriend. Completely crushed me. And I'm Donovan fucking Sharpe. I'm writing for Return of Kings. I'm slaying Vegas bitches and this and that and the other. So if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. There's no way that you can avoid the blue pill pitfalls, but you can reduce the odds of you falling back into your blue pill ways by, number one, consuming red pill content all the time, and number two, just be self-aware. When you feel yourself starting to catch feelings for a female, take a step back and say, okay, I'm starting to catch feelings for this girl. I need to really take a step back. But here is the best way to keep yourself from falling for that bad bitch. Always be fucking more than one woman, Kumar. Never give any one female more than 50% of your sexual attention. As long as you do that, you drastically reduce the odds of catching feelings for a female. Ali, have one more question. Go ahead.
Okay, so my other question would be, 1 in 4 women in America have STDs, and condoms don't 100% prevent STDs. So why are we even trying to do this? Like, fuck around with females and stuff, even being red pilled if 1 in 4 have STDs.
Yeah, because we like to fuck, Kumar, right? Like, listen, there's going to be risk.
You're not worried about STDs?
Well, of course I'm worried about STDs, but that's why you use condoms. And I don't think it's 1 in 4 girls with STDs, Kumar. But I do understand your point. There are a lot of girls out here running around with STDs. But what you're going to have to understand, Kumar, is that there is no free lunch. You can be the most red pill. Even right now, I'm Donovan Sharpe, right? I've got this awesome life. I've got this bad bitch who does this, and she wears heels and all that good stuff. Guess what, Kumar? There is risk in my relationship. There's nothing involving a woman, nothing involving worth having is ever going to be without risk, right? So what you're worried about, and listen, you're a man, you're going to be concerned with risks. Listen, Donovan, how do I prevent risk? You can never prevent risk, you can only mitigate it. So listen, now you have a choice to make. If STDs are something that you're really, really concerned about, and I don't think it's 1 in 4 women, but I get it, there are a lot of women running around here with STDs. Well, you have a few choices. You can just watch porn, you can get a sex doll, you can check out of the dating market completely. But you can't, if you want to pursue women, you're going to have to assume some of that risk. Being a red pill aware male, Kumar, you're going to have to be risk tolerant rather than risk averse. Because if you're not risk tolerant, then you're never really going to go for it, if that makes sense to you.
Okay, I appreciate it, sir.
No problem. Thanks for the call, Kumar in Texas. Very, very good questions. I like callers who make me think. Love callers who make me think, man. All right, let us go back to the phone lines. Looks like I've got a caller from overseas. Your number ends in 417. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Devanshu from Bhutan.
Devon, yeah, your name is what now?
Devanshu from Bhutan.
Devanshu from Dubai. Okay, now Devanshu, I think you're on. Are we
Bhutan?
Okay, I need you to hold the phone closer or take me off speakerphone because it's very, very difficult to hear you right now.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it sounds like you're in a room. Like I need you. Am I on speakerphone?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Take me off of speakerphone so that we can all hear you better.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience.
That's okay.
I was just wanted to make the comment that many girls think that getting a TV popularity will elevate themselves in the sexual market value, but that is not completely true. It's just opposite. This chick from this point onwards will be as radioactive as Hannah Brown from that Bachelor TV show.
Yes,
and
yeah.
She every man will avoid her, but girls don't think this way. Girls think that getting TV popularity will elevate their sexual market value, and that is not true.
Right. Yeah, women seem to think, and a good, listen, that is a very, very good, and thanks for the call. I think he said Devanshu from Nepal, I think. I don't know. Listen, again, this is when women think that engaging in male activities makes them sexually attractive like men. Women think that if I sleep around, and women know this not to be true, right? Women know that if they sleep around, they're going to be less attractive to attractive men. This is why they hide their notch counts, guys. This is why they divide their notch counts by 18 when you ask them. They can pretend, well, why is it that men can sleep around and they're praised and women sleep around, they get called sluts? Well, that's biology. And most of the slut shaming, ladies, comes from you. You guys slut shame each other. So don't ask us. Ask yourself. Ask yourselves. Thanks for the call, Devanshu from Nepal. Hope I got that right. Let us go to area code 727. Area code 727, what is your name and where are you calling from?
How you doing, Donovan? My name is Jeff. I'm calling from Florida.
Jeff in Florida. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to give you, a past story of, these lists of unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
Just to set it up a little bit, just wanted to give you an idea. So I'm a little bit shy of the whole 6'6", 6 foot tall, six pack. Make my own money, not exactly six figures, but I'm financially secure and everything like that. One did all the things I needed to do, and ended up meeting this lady. She approached me, started flirting with me. I ended up meeting up for lunch.
Okay.
To set up her side, single mother, hit the wall a long time ago. Wasn't exactly in the best shape of her life, type of things.
Right.
And lunch is going well, and then she hits me with, well, before we can continue our date, are you 6 feet tall? Because if not, I'm going to lose interest. And I looked at her, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, wow. So then I asked her, I go, well, I'm a boob guy because she has very small boobs. I go, what size are your breasts?
I love it.
And she took that very offensively.
Of course she did.
Very offensively, she took that one. I was just like, so, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, but to really still judge me based on her low sexual market value and still have demands and stuff like that, I just couldn't believe it. It was
Jeff,
just blew my mind away and stuff like that. I lost all interest in right then and there.
Yeah, listen, Jeff, it's so funny. This is the way today's women are. This is one of the main differences, Jeff, between men and women. We understand. And again, when women listen, if a woman likes guys that are 6 feet tall, okay, that's fine. I get it. Women are entitled to have their standards. But if I don't have the money for a Lamborghini, I can't go onto the I can't go onto the car lot and buy a Lamborghini. If I can only afford a Toyota, I can't tell anybody that I require that Lamborghini. If you have a Lamborghini money, buy the Lamborghini. But if a man is a boob guy, and again, Jeff, here's the thing. We can't control our height, right? Our height is something that we do not have direct control over, right? Women, the same thing, but if a woman doesn't have big enough boobs, she can always go out and get a boob job. Listen, we got women conning guys out of boob jobs every minute of every hour of every day. Even still, when a woman has standards, and a woman's standards a lot of time are tied to things that a man has no control over. Okay, that's fine. We can call them what we want. But then when a man then says, well, listen, I require X, Y, and Z, oh my God, how offensive is that? This just goes to show, once again, that women want to have all of the standards, but then they want us to relax all of ours. We can't have requirements, but they have these laundry list of items that they want us to meet before they grace us with our presence.
Absolutely right. And just real quick on another one, actually, I put on a dating profile on Tinder that's the message on there was, hey, if you're looking for a free dinner, don't message me. I'm not going to buy you free dinner.
I love it. Yeah.
I ended up getting a couple of dates out of that one, not too many. So I guess they took that real personal. But one girl, and she was nowhere near in the best shape of her life, starts being very opinionated, asking why I put that on my profile. I was just like, I'm just being upfront, being honest with you. I'm tired of buying girls dinner. I'm no longer going to do that.
Right.
She then replies, well, that just makes you sound cheap. And I'm like, because I don't want to buy you dinner. and stuff like that one.
Well, listen, no, listen, Jeff, listen. Obviously, we know that she's in the wrong for that. But here's what, listen, I've never done online dating, but if I were you, I wouldn't put, hey, listen, I'm not trying to buy you dinner, right? Don't put that on your profile. And the reason you do that is because you want to give women the opportunity to actually earn it. You don't want women to know up front that and again, there are some women who are on Tinder who are not going to have sex with guys, but they don't put, listen, if you're looking to have sex, I'm not your girl, right? Like, don't swipe right on me. And then of course they don't get as many fish in the net. But what you should do is when you're talking to these girls, when you're texting back and forth or however you do it on Tinder, you need to gauge her interest. If you get the idea that she's expecting you to buy her dinner, well, then that's when you say adios. But be very careful about voicing your expectations to women who don't have a vested interest in you. And I say this all the time, and I'm not saying that you do this, Jeff, but I think that this is I think this is definitely something that a lot of guys could certainly learn from. A lot of guys are having sex with women. They're casually seeing women. They say, Donovan, I'm seeing this girl, and I told her she has to let me see her phone, no bars, no clubs, and no traveling alone. And she ghosted on me. Why did they do that? Well, that's because you're not committed to her. She's not committed to you. She doesn't have a reason to want to do these things. You can't make requirements of a woman who isn't interested in a relationship with you. So, and again, I'm not saying that you're wrong for saying, hey, listen, if you expect me to buy you dinner, you guys can go fuck yourselves. But I think what you should do is you should tell that, listen, use that to tell them. If they're texting you, hey, listen, where are we going to go to dinner? Whoa, sweetie, wait a minute. Like, I'm not here to buy you dinner. And at that point, now she can make a decision. That's what I would do if I were you. I'll give you the last word, Jeff.
No, that's actually very great information. I do appreciate that one. I think what I was doing was I was just so frustrated at women.
I get it, man.
That I was just venting out on that Tinder profile type of thing.
You're
and
like,
then
you know what? Fuck this.
I ended up
free dinners, you fucking bitches.
Exactly. And I think that ended up biting me in the ass in the very end. So, hey, I just want to let you know I watch your show all the time, and you've been a great inspiration. I do appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the call, Jeff. I appreciate you calling in. Jeff in Florida, checking in from the 727. I used to live in St. Petersburg. I used to live in I used to live in St. Petersburg, Florida, area code 727. Good stuff, man. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 214. Area code 214. You're on live with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your name and location, please.
Oh, awesome. I'm from Texas. My name is Harold.
Okay.
I had two quick questions.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I have a skin condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to be very self-conscious about it, and I'm still kind of self-conscious about it. But listening to, you, Roll Tomasi, Aaron Roger Curry, you guys have really given me a lot of confidence with it. And I've gotten into the red pill for the past year, and my entire mindset has just changed.
Good.
And I've always been able to observe human behavior, but added with the red pill, I just detect a lot of bullshit quicker now.
Right. Yes.
So my question to you about females is, with a skin condition, have you personally, Donovan, again, I'm a big fan of yours, man. I fucking love you.
Sure.
I just wanted to tell you, and I'm going to sidetrack here, but to me, it's Patrice O'Neal, number one, and then you, number two.
Well,
and the only reason why Patrice O'Neal is on top of you is because, he passed away and
yes.
His legacy was never, he's immortalized.
He is. He is.
He
was ahead of his time, for sure.
Definitely. So have you ever seen anyone with a skin condition, any sort of, abnormality, so to speak, be really good with girls? And have you ever worked with someone like that? How would someone like that go ahead doing it?
Number one, I've never worked with anyone who has a skin condition. But number two, I actually had a couple of friends in Vegas One of them had pretty bad psoriasis on his, he had psoriasis on his right arm. And then there's actually another friend of mine. It wasn't a skin condition. He was a white guy. He had a really large red birthmark. It was like right there, like on the back of his head. He just didn't let it bother him. Yeah, girls aren't blind. They see these things. But what we have to understand is that for every deficiency we have in the sexual marketplace, we have to make sure that we elevate the things that we can control. So, for example, my friend who had the psoriasis had the gift of gab. Like, dude, I remember one girl he approached. He was like, well, listen, if we set up this date, are you going to flake on me? Because I don't want you to look like my arm here. Like, he pointed it out first. And, dude, she got a fucking kick out of it. I don't know if he fucked her or not, but every time we went to a party, that girl was with him. So he was successful with her. The guy with the birthmark, I know every once in a while, and Vegas is very, very sunny. I think it was sensitive to the sun, so he couldn't be out there all the time. But he would routinely do great with women because he had this outgoing, gregarious personality. And you know what? The last I checked, it was interesting. The last time I saw his Facebook page was maybe 3 years ago. He was actually thinking about getting a tattoo to sort of cover it up. Getting like sort of a neck tattoo to sort of cover up the skin condition. And I'll tell you something else too, Harold. I have a lot of acne scars on my back. My back is nice and smooth now, but there are a lot of acne scars, right? So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a full back piece tattoo to get that covered up so that I'm not so that it just looks better back there. So there are certainly ways around certain skin conditions, certain things that you have that you think may hold you back. But the thing you always have to keep in mind is, number one, be creative. I like the idea of the tattoo on the back of the head. And number two, if you are deficient in one area of your sexual market value, you need to elevate yourself in ways you have control of. Your physical fitness level, the way you dress, your grooming, your personal hygiene, your money. All you can do is elevate the things that you have personal control over, and you will be much better with women than even you might think. I'll give you the last word.
Absolutely. My second question extends to what you just said. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing I have on top of everyone else, really that I know, is that I'm a pretty damn good artist. So I'm really great at art. Boom. The only thing is, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I'm in my early 20s, right?
Okay.
And I live with my parents.
Okay.
And right now I work at one of those concert events as security.
Okay.
So I make $12 an hour.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to make enough money to leave. Like, do you have any business advice? I really want to make enough money to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have any business advice for someone in their early 20s to really start making money?
Yeah, listen, man, even if I did, and I've owned 3 businesses, but I can't really give you sort of universal business advice. Listen, Harold, you're only 21, man. Like, you're supposed to be broke, right? Like, you have to understand, Harold, is that when I was 21, I wasn't even making $12 an hour, right? And I know.
I'm 24.
Okay, still, dude, you're in your early 20s. Now, what you need to do is you need to start making an exit strategy to get up out of your parents' house. But what you have to understand is that you're not gonna make, unless you're like a Mark Cuban or some sort of tech billionaire or some dude who drops out of Harvard and, invents Facebook or something like that. You're gonna be like the rest of the 24-year-olds. What I would do if I were you is I would cultivate that art skill. Young, attractive women are attracted to talent. Girls love guys who can draw. Girls love guys who can be artistic. Girls love those things. So you're young, certainly be thinking about the future. Just understand is that the typical 24-year-old male in the U.S. probably living with his parents probably doesn't really have a whole lot of money. So what I would do is I would cultivate that talent if you want to attract more women. And of course, you might be able to parlay that into maybe your own business. What kind of art do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of art do you do?
Okay. What I draw, I paint.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, stuff like that.
Listen, if you are really, really good at art, draw and paint and put that shit up on social media, man. Like, this is how people get discovered, man. Ronda Rousey was discovered on YouTube, right? There are so many people who have all of these unbelievable talents that would not have been discovered otherwise. Somebody sees an Instagram post, holy shit, who is this guy? Next thing you know, maybe you're being flown out to LA for an art event. People are attracted to talent. Girls are attracted to talent. Let's say you put up 5 paintings that you do. You're going to have hot girls commenting on the painting, and hot girls beget hot girls. That's just how this works. Cultivate that talent, Harold. That is one. Listen, you have a very rare talent. You need to cultivate that talent because, again, young girls are attracted to talent. They are aroused by it. Trust me. All right, let us go to area code 973. Area code 973 is one of my gerbil's attempts to... Nope, he's good. Area code 973. You're on Live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hey, Greg from New Jersey.
Hey, Greg, how you doing, man?
Good. I was just listening to that last guy. Yo, man, look, I'm 24 years old. I'm an artist too.
Oh, okay.
And what I learned is that it's more or less you got to be more. It's like what you just said. I think it was risk adverse, not risk. I forget what you said. I'm sorry.
It's risk tolerant as opposed to risk averse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be the first one.
Yeah, you have to be willing to take the risk, right?
And
right.
Yeah, man, because the thing about art is that, like you'll never know. And that's what I learned. Like, I do wood burning, I do airbrushing. I'm about to talk to a guy that does automotive paints. So it's like, and I'm making my own podcast. So, it's taking a risk at a young age so that you can reap the benefit of it later. And it's more or less like I'm about to go back to acting classes, not back to college, but acting classes, because I feel as if I need to like learn how to, it teaches you frame. Like I did a acting class in college, and you actually learn about like frame, like keeping it together.
I like that.
So that you don't fucking sweat.
Right, so that you don't break character. That's actually really good advice, actually. That's something I had never thought of before. Yeah, man, like, trust me, look, I'm sacrificing a lot, and I still live with my parents. I ain't afraid, I ain't ashamed of it. I know I'm working on that, dude, like, I don't need a consultation to say, like, get out of your fucking parents' house. Of course.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, I totally understand.
Sorry.
No, listen, I'm with you 100%.
Mm-hmm. But like this year, I'm putting a down payment on a car myself. I saved up a lot of money. I'm getting my tax refund back, and I just said, what, fuck it. I put in some equipment and stuff like that. So it's more or less like you're not going to make money, and girls are not going to see you at this age. But like later on, it's like just remember, like, don't worry about it.
Yes, girls
but
aren't
also
going
take
anywhere,
that acting class. I really recommend it.
Yeah, that's good advice, and thanks for the call. Listen, that was very, very, very good advice that he just gave. He says, listen, I'm 24 years old. I live with my parents. I'm going to put a down payment on a car. I'm not in any... Listen, don't get me wrong, man. I'm not saying that you should be living with your parents in your mid-20s, but guys, times have changed. And if the only reason why you want to move out of your parents' house is to get girls, you need to stay at your parents' house. Stay at your parents' house. Stack the cash. That way, when you move out, you'll have 30, 40 stacks in your pocket. Then you can buy a car. You can pay for a 1-year lease at an apartment or put a down payment on a house, whichever you decide to do first. Very, very good advice there by Greg in New Jersey. Area code 754, you are next, followed by 717, 919, and then 347. Let me shout out some super chats here quickly. Theo K with the $2 super chat says, I sent a gender role couple video to your email. That should be interesting. Myron Gaines from Unplugged Fitness with the $20 super chat says, supporting my brother and this live show. Appreciate that, Myron. Steven with the $5 super chat. He says, I know I'm only 22, but how about this? I got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with 30 acres and a shop, and the girl I dated for a year and a half wanted no part. Well, and that has nothing to do with you, Steven. The reason why she didn't want to have anything to do with it is because she still has time. When women know they have the luxury of time, they're not in any rush. They're not in any rush to commit to a long-term relationship. They're early 20s. What are they in a rush for? They think they have time. Now, of course, that's what they should be doing, right? And 10 years from now, you'll be 32. That girl will also be 32. She'll be wishing, man, I wonder what happened to Steven, the guy with the the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on the with the 30 acres with a shop on there. I wonder what he's up to. Steven, do not let that bitch come back into your life. Do not do it. All right, let us go to, let's see here. Ashish Kaushik with the 400, looks like Indian rupees. I think that converts to about $5, maybe $5.50, $5.60. Says, greetings, Mr. Donovan. I see some very beautiful girls, part of the men's right activism. Do these girls make good wives and girlfriends, even if they have tattoos on their neck? Thank you. No. There is not, listen, a girl with a neck tattoo will never make a good long-term relationship partner, ever. I don't care. Now, what he's talking about is he's talking about beautiful girls being a part of the red pill community. You have to understand this, Ashish. There are no red pill women. Only women who belong to red pill men, right? Red pill men that's going to be the strongest man in her life. But as soon as that red pill man ceases to be with her, she is no longer a red pill woman. And again, man, the reason why, and women like to just follow whatever is whatever chic, whatever's in vogue, right? Like with the whole Trump thing, you got all these hot girls with big tits, MAGA, da 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 da. They just want to be around guys. Oh, these are the cool guys. These are the cool kids. We want to be around them. Women don't have any steadfast beliefs. They don't believe in shit. They only believe what the strongest men believe, right? So women are always going to be women, no matter what they appear to actively endorse. I don't care if she's red pill. I don't care if she's about men's rights, whatever. No. Women are always going to be women. You must vet them thoroughly. And if she has a neck tattoo, she's out. Yes, Theo, that is the correct. Donovan Sharpe, ROK@gmail.com. That is correct. That is the correct email address. You can either send it there, or actually a better address would be tsr@donovansharpe.com. Either one, those will end up going to me. All right, let us go back to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 754. Area code 754, you're on Live at Donovan. What is your name and location?
Jose from Fort Lauderdale. Thanks
Jose,
for taking
Fort
my
Lauderdale.
call.
How you doing, man?
Good. So I wanted to share a story. Call it my Big Booty Atlanta story. So what happened was,
I love it.
Yeah, I was at a bar with a couple of my friends, and this huge girl with they would call him a stallion, just huge booty, really nice looking girl, was sitting down with her fat friend. And as soon as her fat friend went to go to the bathroom, I went and I made my move. I gave her my number, introduced myself. I said, hey, give me a call sometime.
Okay.
So this girl, she's like maybe late 30s, early 40s. We started talking. She was telling me how she's like a professional, she's wealthy. So I was like, okay, great. So I told her I was from Brazil. She wanted to go to this Brazilian restaurant. She picked the most expensive Brazilian restaurant in Atlanta. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, first date, no problem. So we go, and I made the mistake of going and picking her up, like near the restaurant, about 20 minutes away. So we get down to this restaurant, and I'm thinking, we didn't discuss this, but I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, we're going Dutch, because this is the first date, and there ain't no way I'm going to be simping with this girl and paying for the whole thing. Right. But I'm like, she was bragging about herself so much, I figured, I'm like, it wouldn't be an issue once we got there. But we never discussed it before we got there.
Right.
So we finally get over to the location and everything, and the guy's like, okay, let's start with champagne. I said, hold on a sec. I said, let me just let you know right now. I said, we're splitting this. So she got ballistic as soon as I mentioned that. And I was like, and just the audacity, the entitlement of some of these women, they think that, we're just going to pay for that on the first date. That's a no-go. But it just wanted to share that story. It was a rough ride going back. I will never do that again. I will always meet at the place in the future. But I wanted to share that story because this girl was talking the talk. And then on the way back, she's like, well, you don't have that much money because you can't afford to pay me. I mean, I could have bought her 1,000 dinners right then and there. So it was just some of these women, the way they act.
Hang on, Jose. So number one, you said this girl had a big ass booty, right? The thing is the reason. Now, here's the thing, and I think you probably, and I've spoken to you several times on the phone, but the reason why she said that she was, and let's get one thing straight. There are no wealthy women, guys. A wealthy woman is not going to be available just to the average man, right? The reason she told you she was wealthy is so that you would pay for that first date, right? Because in a woman's mind, well, hell, if she's wealthy, then I'll pay for this first date because, of course, she has her own money. She can pay for the second date. Women like to say, oh, I've got all this money and this and that and the other to give you the impression that they, number one, understand the value of a dollar, but number two, to try to get you to buy shit for them. Well, I'll buy this first. She doesn't need it, but I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this as sort of a gesture of goodwill. That's all she did. But you kicked Big Booty Judy up out of there, man.
Yeah, real quick, and she was complaining the whole time.
Of course she did.
And I just want to finish with this plug for you guys that are listening. Donovan's got this tier of $55. We meet every Sunday. It's definitely worth every single penny.
Oh, yeah, those are
and
fun,
Donovan,
man.
I love it, man. I'll talk to you on Sunday, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk to you Sunday, dude. Appreciate that.
Thanks for the call.
Jose in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, listen, he's talking about my $55 tier. Holy moly, I did not realize that we had 16 callers. 15 callers. Holy shit. I'm taking my sweet-ass time. I'm like, where are these callers coming from? All right, I'm going to try to mow through these as quickly as possible. So, area code 717, you're next. 919-917-215-443-501-386-909. Oh, my God. All right, well, listen. If you're going to... Listen, I'll try to get through these as quickly as possible. Try to be patient, guys. Try to be patient. Let's go to area code 717. Area code 717, you're on live with Donovan, and you go ahead. Name and location, rather.
Hey, what's going on, Donovan?
What's up, man?
This is David from Harrisburg, age 38. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, just some quick question, man. I'm going through a change in my life. I've been simping out. I spent almost a 10-year dry spell without dating, really.
Oh, wow.
I ended up dating a feminist girl, and I dumped her after a month because of her views.
Right.
Right now, I'm a musician. I work as a salesman for a major cell phone company. I'm just finding that I don't know if it stops in high school where you have other dudes around and you keep saying, I get all these women. You don't fear nothing. How do you get past that or look past that? Because it's kind of aggravating me to hear that all the time.
So your issue with girls is that what now?
It's not really with women. I mean, at first I became red pill. I was really mad at women.
Okay.
But it's mostly with other, probably because other men.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm usually going through this dominance thing where everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, I get women. You'll never have that chance. You're not that, and the third."
Yeah, right.
And that I keep hearing that constant narrative of, I guess, around the people that I subscribe to or people I'm around, that pump that constant narrative, and
Sure.
It gets harder because I'm working out and trying to meet that level.
Right.
At the same time.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? My guess is that these people are your friends. Are these people your friends? People you hang around with on a regular basis?
Friends, family members. It's just this constant saying or attitude.
Okay.
A constant attitude or being treated that way. Because I'm shorter. I'm like 5'5", so automatically I have to work harder than most people.
Of course.
The same time.
Yeah.
The same. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking for at least the light out of the tunnel.
No, I totally agree. The way to deal with that is you can't be around those people, right? And I'm not saying completely eliminate your friends and your family, but I don't want to get chicken soup for the soulish here, but you can't be around people you can't be around people who are going to drag you down, right? Like, I mean, you can't be around people who are constantly telling you what you're not going to have, what you can't have. You'll never be on this level. You'll never be on that level, right? Because, dude, I had a ton of friends in Vegas, and all of us were very supportive of one another. And it wasn't this whole, kumbaya thing, right? But we never, but we were never like, oh, that guy's too short. You'll never get women. No, I was just I was talking to, what's his name? Harold in Texas, the guy with the skin condition. I had two friends in Vegas with skin conditions. I didn't say, oh man, that's psoriasis on your arm. That's going to keep you from getting girls. No, it wasn't even a factor. The guy with the birthmark, the red birthmark on the back of his head, it was the same deal. What you have to do, you should never have to deal with that, David. And look, you and I are around the same age. We're a few years apart. But dude, we are too old to be dealing with that kind of high school bullshit.
Exactly.
You understand what I mean? And it gets to a point where you're like, okay, all right, you can get girls and this and that and the other, but just like you said, this ain't fucking high school anymore, right? Like the measure of a man isn't how much pussy he can get, because any man can get pussy. So what you need to do is you need to surround yourself with like-minded men, like-minded people. I'm not saying cut off your family and friends, but if I were you, I would drastically start to limit your exposure to these people who aren't, and you don't need anybody who's just going to lift you up and encourage you constantly. You're a man. You don't really need that.
Correct.
But you need to be, but you at the very least need to be around people who aren't going to try to tear you down at every turn. That's just not the way to live, man. So that would be my advice to you, man.
And the final piece is that marriage thing, because I'm 38. That's another thing.
Okay.
And around my brothers, I get that denigration of, oh, he's not married, so he's useless.
Oh, no.
That is the vibe that I've been getting for the last few years. So there's something wrong with him. Listen. It's up to him. He's not married, no kids. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. I was actually, your brothers are acting like women. Okay. Your brothers are not red pill aware, because if your brothers were red pill aware, they wouldn't laugh at you because you're not married. You see, girls always laugh at other girls. Like if there were three girls, 40, 41, and 38, and you were the 38-year-old unmarried girl, Davina, they'd be making fun of you because you're a woman and you're not married. Bitch, you're 38, you're not married? Yeah, they have reason to make fun of you. David, you are right smack dab in the middle of your sexual prime. As a 38-year-old man, a 38-year-old man in this day and age is equivalent to a 24-year-old girl, right? Dude, you're going to be able to fuck bad bitches for at least the next decade and a half. Again, I talk about these guys all the time. I counsel millionaires in their 50s who are fucking 23 and 24-year-old bitches, man. Our sexual primes our sexual primes last so much longer than women. So when your brothers make fun of you, you're 38 and not married, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not tied to a woman who's gaining 30 pounds a year, who has the license to divorce rate me and take half of all my future earnings. I'm not that guy. No,
And kids.
And oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I didn't even think about kids. Listen, let your brothers laugh. Let your brothers laugh at you. But David, you're going to be the one that has the last laugh, man. Don't go back and forth with them, because you're never going to convince them of anything. But when their wives behave badly, and they will, then you can be there to maybe help them up when they fall. But what I would do if I were you is I would start to limit myself around the people who are not. I'm not going to put myself around people who try to tear me down. This is why I don't look at comments anymore. And thanks for the call, David. This is why I don't look at comments anymore. This is why I only allow members to chat. I'm not going to surround myself with negativity, right? And a lot of people say, well, Donovan, if you block people, then that's a weakness. No, that's not a weakness. It's not a weakness to want to cut the bullshit out of your life. Why in the world am I going to expose myself to a bunch of criticism, to a bunch of bullshit? No, that doesn't make any sense. The reason why I'm headstrong, the reason why I'm steadfast in my beliefs is because I don't allow any negativity in my life. I don't allow naysayers in my life. I don't allow that at all. And look where I'm at. Very good call there by David. Stop paying attention to your brothers. Area code 919. You're on Live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
What's up, Donovan? Crazy ass X nigga on the line.
Oh, shit, man. Crazy ass X. You got an update for us, man?
Yeah.
Give it to me, man.
I'm sorry, this is too funny. All right, my ex, luckily I'm up in the mountains, so I ain't nowhere near that bitch. But
right, good.
Yeah, she's going around telling everybody I did this, that, and the third. I got her knocked up, pregnant, and shit like that.
Right.
None of it's true.
Good.
And for the most part, I'm just up in the mountains hiding, because I know our brothers, and the brothers are crazy as hell, and I don't have my guns with me, so yeah, that's just something I got to deal with. So one of my questions I had to ask was, why is it that women, when they sleep around and they get to their age, when they get to them ages that no one wants to commit to them and they only just see them as sluts, that they sit here and point the finger at men for their problems? All right. Even when they hit 50 and 60, they hit this age where it's like, how do you blame everything else but yourself? No one told you to ride that dick. No one told you to get knocked the fuck up, but you let that happen.
Right.
All right. It's the world's fault but it's the world's fault, but it's not yours. It's everybody else's problem, but not yours.
Yeah, this is simple. This is simple because women never, and this is why women continue to make the same mistakes. Women are allergic to accountability. Women are allergic to admitting fault. I can't remember the last time I heard a person who pees sitting down say, I admit I was wrong. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Devin does that quite a bit. But she is the gross exception. She's not the exception to the rule. She does that because she's with me. But women just don't hold themselves accountable. And the reason for this, crazy-ass ex-nigga, is because the world constantly tells women that there is nothing wrong with them. They can do no wrong. If a woman makes a bad decision, the world is there to make an excuse for said bad decision. So when they're in their 40s and 50s and 60s and still single, they think, what's wrong with the world? They never ever, this is why women don't get it until it's too late. They never stop to think, what's wrong with me? No, they always think to themselves, what's wrong with the world? Oh, it must be men. Women blame the very thing they want the most. That's why. Good call there by crazy-ass ex-nigga. That nigga's crazy. Said he's up in the mountains hiding from niggas with guns? Crazy-ass ex-nigga, man. Call the show tomorrow. I need to make sure you're still alive. Let's go to area code 917. Area code 917, you're on live with Donovan. What's your name and location, please?
Donovan, what's going on? My name is Sanchez, calling from New York.
Sanchez in New York, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm back on the show again. Got a lot of laughs again. Hey, that Coach Adam buzzer beater shit had me rolling the other day, man.
Buzzer beater.
Rolling.
That is some funny shit. He's very, very good. I like his vernacular because he talks about monkey double backflips and 49ers. My God, he's got me pissing my pants half the time, man.
Yeah, man, I was rolling. But, well, I'm calling in, man, because of your list. So when I was in college, I took like a criminal justice class, right? So our professor had a sit down one day and he said, write down all the attributes you look for in a friend or in somebody else.
Okay.
And we all sat there, the whole class. We sat there. We wrote down what you look for in a friend, or this, that, and the third, honesty, blah 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 blah. At the end of it, he looked at all of us and said, "All right, look at your list." We all looked at a list. He said, "Everything you wrote down, that's the characteristics that you don't have." And we was like, "Oh shit!" And this guy was a CIA agent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right,
psychologically, right. He said everything you wrote down is what you're looking for in other people that you don't have in you.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit. So as you read that list, it kind of hit me. I said, everything these women have that on their list, usually they don't have those same characteristics in them.
That's exactly right. And here's something else that I always tell people, and thanks for the call, Sanchez. You guys have heard me say this before. Sort of a dating hack, not that you would ever care what a woman says she wants in a man, but a dating hack that you can sort of ask a question on a first date. Ask a woman, what kind of woman are you? Tell me what kind of woman I'm dealing with here, right? She'll say, well, I'm driven, I'm ultra competitive, I'm decisive, I'm a boss bitch, I'm this and that, I'm sure of myself, I make decisions, blah, 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 blah. 11 times out of 10, she's none of those things. What she is describing to you is what she wants in a man. What she is describing to you is what she is attracted to. What she is describing to you is what she is aroused by. So again, that is a dating hack. What kind of woman are you? Don't ask her, well, what are you looking for in a man? Because you know what she's going to tell you? The same thing this bitch told us. It's kind, caring, holds doors, blah, 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 blah. But then when you ask her what kind of woman she is, well, I've take no prisoners attitude. I'm devil may care. I'm this, I'm that. I'm competitive. I'm a boss bitch. That's what she's looking for in a man. Area code 215, I'm going to come to you in just a second. I'm going to shout out to the TSR Mod Squad in the house. The TSR Mod Squad, Brian Washington, shout out to you. Al, Kyle Mitchell, Colonel Sanders the 16th, good to see you in here. I, Bramblebush, filling up the chat as usual. I, Bramblebush is definitely a smart guy. I like when he chats. Mafia Supreme says, columns of delusion. Falcon RS says, correction, crazy dog lady. I love that. Marcellus Thomas says, even Steve Harvey knows she's crazy. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You should watch the video. Steve is like, man, what the hell is this? This is why she can't find a man. MLD is in the house. Jonathan of Modern Life Dating making an appearance. Janet L'Italian says, and of course, she will find no one, but it'll be all men's fault. Just like crazy SX nigga out there in the 919 mountains just told us. Tom Brokaw is in the house. Yeah, we got up to 1,500 live viewers a little while ago, so we're certainly getting those numbers up. Pimped Out Geese, good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Let's see who else we got here. Will S. is in the house. Is that Will S? Okay. I don't think I've ever spoken with Will S before. But Will S, good to have you in the towers. Good to have you in the towers. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to area code 215. Area code 215. You're on live with Donovan. What's your name and location, please?
Donovan, it's Michael from Philly.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
Good. When I was listening to that video, man, I just was laughing my ass off. I just could not stop laughing.
Crazy, right?
But I just wanted to share like my experience with a woman with unrealistic expectations, and I think mine will like blow everything out the park.
Oh wow!
With that list on that video.
Okay.
I was chatting with this girl, and trying to figure out what she was like, and she said that she does not date men that drink tap water. I wanted to throw my phone through my TV when she said that. I swear to you not.
So wait, hold on. Let me just back up here, Michael and Philly. So you're telling me that this girl said to you that she doesn't date guys who drink tap water. That's what she said.
I swear to God.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Do you see how?
I was like, so what do you drink?
You know what I mean?
Drink juice all the time? Oh my God.
But you want to know something, Michael? This just speaks to women's solipsistic entitlement. Like men that don't, like women actually think that they can make requirements that no man in the history of time could ever meet, and they would still expect to meet that guy. And you know why guys do this, right? And thanks for the call, Michael and Philly. The reason why women want to come across as having all of these expectations is, number one, they're crazy. But there's also another reason they do this. They want everyone to think that they just have so many options. Well, I have so many options that no guy will really fit the bill. So here are my requirements, right? And the reason I have this big requirement list is because I'm just so special. Every guy wants me, so I have to filter them out somehow. So here is my list. Oh my God. That doesn't drink tap water. What? Oh, Jesus. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Oh my God. I drink tap water. Bramblebush doesn't drink tap. Listen, I drink tap water, you know? All right, let's go to area code 443. Area code 443, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hey, Donovan, this is Shabazz from Baltimore.
Shabazz in Baltimore.
I wanted to point out two things on the list I don't think people got.
Okay.
The one thing, the first caller hit right on the head. She requires a big dick. She requires it.
That's right.
She said this indirectly because she talks about the sweatpants. Sweatpants are the equivalent of leggings for females.
Motherfucker. Oh my God, Shabazz.
Yeah.
Shabazz, bruh. I didn't even think about that. You're 100% right, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, good catch on that one,
yeah.
dude.
And it showed the print. That's what sweatpants do. And the second thing the first thing that stood out to me is she said he can't have roommates, which makes no sense. Because she says she wants a guy financially stable, but wouldn't a guy with a roommate be more financially stable than without? Because he would be paying less money for rent.
Well, see, listen, you're right, but that's not the way girls see it. Girls expect the best of both worlds. There are many men who have made the decision, listen, I could afford to live on my own, but I don't have anyone to impress. I'm in my mid to late 20s. I'm trying to stack cash. Like, I'll go and fuck a girl at an Airbnb, or I'll fuck girls at the club. There's no need for me to be paying, $2,000 a month for a place when I can pay $500 a month and have a couple of roommates. Girls don't see it that way. That's why, Shabazz, women do not like to build with men. They like to wait at the finish line and fuck the winners. Wow, no sweatpants. How about that, man? Dude, I totally missed that. That was a good catch there by Shabazz in Baltimore. All right, let's go to area code 501. Area code 501. You're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Name is Robert. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Robert in Little Rock. How you doing, Robert?
Man, I'm fine. Man, you got one of the best shows with the content, man. I got to give it to you.
I appreciate it.
I'm 56 years old, and I want to tell you guys, you young guys, keep listening to this guy. This guy got the best content when it comes to relationships and, all that other stuff like that. But I just want to say this right quick.
Sure.
I was married back in from 1990 to 1992.
Okay.
And I just came from working out. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I was married from 1990 to 1992. I lost maybe $10,000. From there all the way up to now, I never got married. In a way, I guess you can say I kind of took the red pill, and we didn't have that kind of content like you got now.
Right.
Throughout that time, yeah, I kind of had to learn on the go. I was kind of winging. I still have the beta tendency sometimes, but
sure.
Man, I started. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I said sure. We've all had the beta tendencies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I started listening to you 6 months ago. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff you talk about with the young guys and even some of the guys my age, man, I went through just about all of that. Wow. And like I said, and guys, listen to this guy. I'm 56. I'm retired now. I can probably not work for 2 years, maybe, without a paycheck. Just listen to this guy. Don't ever get married.
That's right.
And Donovan, I'll be calling back another time, and I'll send you some money when I get a chance. Get myself situated here, okay?
Well, appreciate that, Robert in Little Rock. Make sure you take that. Listen, Robert, make sure you take that post workout. Make sure you pound that protein shake. You want to build those muscles. Thanks for the call, Robert in Arkansas. Appreciate that. Let us go. Oh, wait a minute. State of Mike with the $2 super chat says, I was the 215 caller. Her mother was a diabetic. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Oh, man. That means that she could be a diabetic. Man, just red flags all over the place. Area code 386. You're on live with Donovan. Area code 386. You're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Oh, yeah, my name is Ronell from Daytona Beach.
Ronell from Daytona Beach. How you doing, man?
I'm good. The topic reminded me of a conversation I had with a girl a couple of weeks ago. How she was saying that if you ask a guy to describe his woman, he's going to describe the type of female that's a slave. So I hit her back that if you ask a woman to describe the type of man she wants, she's going to describe the type of guy that she wouldn't date or that she'll put in the friend zone.
That's it. Boom. There you go. That's it. This is when you outwardly ask her, Ronell. If you ask her, what kind of man are you looking for? She will describe the kind of man that she will put in the friend zone. But if you ask her what kind of woman she is, she will describe a man that she wants to fuck.
Yep.
What did she say?
Yeah, these women with these lists, they don't know that the older they get, the shorter that list gets. And pretty soon, the only thing that's going to be on the list is just the warm body to lay next to him.
Thanks for the call, Ronell in Daytona Beach. He says the older they get, the shorter that list gets. Well, here's the problem. It doesn't. That's the way it should work. That ain't the way it is working. The older these women get, the longer this list gets. This woman with this 46, one by one list, bitch is almost 40 years old. Like, dude, I know 23-year-old hot girls who don't have a list like that. These fucking list of requirements. God, these bitches got some nerve, man. Let's go to area code 909. Area code 909, you're on live with Donovan.
90 seconds.
Hello. Hi, Donovan. How are you?
Good.
Good, yeah. Sorry. I was just listening to the conversation, but what I had to say was, I started the whole MGTOW thing when I was about 18. I really got into it, and I started noticing patterns and shit. Now I'm 26, moved out, getting my shit together in life and all that. I was wondering, do you have any advice for, a guy mid-20s?
60 seconds.
Working on getting his shit together, but not too interested in women, but still trying to keep everything, how do I put this?
Yes.
Trying to keep normal relationship shit, but not, getting caught up.
Right. So you're looking for, what are your goals? Let me ask you what your goal is.
Well, my goal is to buy, honestly, 300 acres of land, put a house on it, and live off the land. That's it.
Okay, good. That is a very good goal to have. What is your goal with women?
honestly, I can't really see myself having one after looking at marriage rates, how quickly you can get fucked over, especially with this age, with technology and everything. It's fucked.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So here's the advice that I have for you. Focus on buying that 300 acres.
10 seconds.
And don't worry, guys, if you're in the queue, you'll get on the show. You just have now 8 seconds to get on the show. But this is the thing, and I know you may or may not have heard this before, but it's a meme that's been around forever. A man has never lost a woman chasing money. But men lose money all the time chasing women. If you chase women, you're going to lose money. If you chase money, you'll never lose women, right? So my advice to you would be to consume red pill content all the time and never, ever, ever stop your goal of buying that 300 acres of land. Never, ever stop that. If you are goal driven, if you are hyper focused, if you have a singular purpose outside of women, you'd be surprised at how attractive to women you become. Women want men who like women, but they don't want men who need women, men who focus on women. No, women like a man who has his own vision, a man who has his shit together. Do not be all about women, and women will be all about you. That's how it works. All right, let's go to area code 973. Area code 973, you're on live at Donovan. What is your name and location?
Donovan, what's going on, man? This is Kevin again from New Jersey. My real name is not Kevin, but you got to stay anonymous sometimes when still in the game.
No, I got you, man. What's up? What's up, Kevin?
Yeah, man. So I wanted to just say this, man. I can't stress this enough, brother. I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
And a very short note, all I got to say to the fellas out there, man, just bag them, shag them, flag them, man. Get your money. Stay about your purpose, Keep up with yourself. And if you got a family and you're fortunate enough to not be in no child support situation, keep your head up and keep pushing, man. These bitches out here, they always gonna be out here. All you gotta do is get your shit together, man. Once your shit is together, it's all good.
Good stuff, man. Good call. Good call there by Kevin in New Jersey. Short and sweet. Love it. Native Carib Blackfoot with the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. He says, keep doing what you do, Donovan. I most certainly will. You better believe that. Let's go to area code 512. Area code 512, you're on live with Donovan. Your name and location, please.
Hello, this is James from Texas.
James in Texas. What's up, man?
I had 2 quick questions.
Sure.
So my first question is, do you think society and the legal system will change within our lifetime? Or do we just need to have like a nomadic army come over from Eurasia and just conquer the West and stuff?
That's a good question, man. Listen, I can't really predict the future. But just from what I've seen, and I know it's very easy, like guys like MLD, and bless his heart, he says, dude, times are changing, the tide is turning. But what Jonathan doesn't understand is that we're in an echo chamber. We only surround ourselves with red pill content, red pill aware men. So in our world, we think the tide is changing. The tide isn't changing. It's not going to change anytime soon. It's not going to change in my lifetime. So yeah, short of a European nomadic army coming and conquering the West, it's going to be this way until we're 6 feet under. What's your next question?
So my next is, I have army right now trying to go special forces.
Okay.
But I know that my political aspirations will not be done in my lifetime, so I need to have kids. Is surrogacy like the option for me, or like what other options are there?
Yeah, I've heard guys talk about surrogacy, and what he's talking about, guys, is he's talking about having a child, having a woman carry his child, literally buying an egg and then picking a woman to carry that egg. He donates his sperm. The woman who carries the child has no legal rights to the kid. As soon as the kid is birthed, it belongs to him. I've heard of guys doing this. A lot of guys do like to go the surrogacy route. Some guys are going overseas to seek women that way. So yeah, listen. And again, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but that it would appear, at least for now, that if you want to have children but not get divorce raped or get put in the child support trap, I would say that surrogacy is probably your best option as of right now. I'll give you the last word.
Okay, yeah, that's basically all I had. And I think that for men, we need to tell our sons or ourselves, if we're young enough, we need to get into
politics and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we
I
get
agree.
elected into offices.
No, I
in the
totally
court
agree.
system so we could. That's it. That's all.
Okay, well, thanks for the call, James in Texas. He was breaking up a little bit there, but yeah. Listen. You know, if we want this to be a red pill world, we need red pill people in office. Donald Trump is just one, but one is obviously not enough. Let's go to area code 248. Area code 248. You're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hello?
Yes, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hi, my name is Kyla. I'm in Michigan.
You said Kyla in Michigan?
Yeah.
All right. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I actually have a question. So I watched this. Obviously, I'm a girl. I know everybody's going to give me slack in the comment section. But anyway, so basically, I love watching this channel because I feel like it gives me a better perspective. This is like the only realistic channel that they give you, even though it's supposed to be for men. It's like it gives me advice. I've been with my boyfriend for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I feel like there was some stuff we used to argue about, and I really didn't understand his perspective until I used to watch like the videos you were doing commentary on, like Amy Horton and
oh yeah, Janelle
what's that
Testa.
girl's name? Janelle
Yeah,
Testa. Yeah, like those were like the ones where it kind of like gave me like understanding, not necessarily that I was doing those stuff, but more so like dealing with how to talk to him and just understanding that like your boyfriend is not your best friend. But I have a question actually.
Sure.
Me and my boyfriend are around the same age, and I'm really, I've been working on, so I did the stuff you said, like I gave my boyfriend my password. I lost weight, even though I'm not overweight. I just lost more weight. Sure. I've been cooking more, doing stuff like that you said we're supposed to do, but like, I just have a question. So how do I make sure that like in the future we'll still be together? Because right now we're not old, but we're not really young either. Mm-hmm. Like I'm 24.
Okay.
So it's like, how do I know like if we'll stay together for a long time? Because it's like I do want to be with him for a long time, but like you said, like, and I'm not one of those. I really do. I'm really trying to be honest with myself and say like, I am gonna get older. I'm gonna age. I can still take care of like if I'm fat or not, but I can't necessarily decide like how my face is going to look in the future or whatever, right. You can get a disease or whatever. You might get cancer, your hair fall off. So it's like, how do I make sure that, like, how do I know? And I feel like my boyfriend is kind of like in between. Like, he's not like, what you guys say, like a simp.
Okay.
But he's also not just like a completely bad boy. I feel like he's in between. Like, he doesn't let me just disrespect him, but at the same time, he's not going to, like, never do anything nice for me either. So it's like, I don't know. He's not necessarily a bad boy. He's not necessarily a good boy, and I really like that middle ground. But I just want to know, like, what would you say, or how would I know if he's – because, like, I feel like people say I'm attractive. So how would I know if I'm going to be able to keep him around in 10, 20 years? Because I see a lot of the women we talk about on here, they're, like, 40 years old, they're 50 years old.
Right.
And, like, obviously it makes sense because it's like, if you wait till this time, and I don't have any kids either, it's like you wait till this time you have kids. Of course, I understand like why a man wouldn't want to deal with that, but it's like me personally, like since I don't have kids, I really do want to be with this man forever.
Okay.
So I just want to know like what I should actually do to make sure, because as a woman, like our value is going to go down. His value is going to increase, but like I said, we're close in age. So what do you recommend that I do?
This is simple. You have to keep doing what you're doing, right? And listen, I'll give you an example with my own relationship. Devin is 36 years old. She is in her mid-30s. Time is not on her side. And eventually, Father Time will come and collect his debt for having given her absolute power over men for the better part of a decade. To answer your first question, how do I know? You don't. Listen, none of us know the future. I don't know. I might not be attracted to Dev in a month. She might not be attracted to me. All you can do to mitigate that risk is to make sure stay in shape. You said, listen, I didn't have to lose weight, but I lost weight. Stay in shape. Keep being a good girlfriend to him. Put him first. Make him a priority, things of that nature. The better a woman you are to a man, and understand this, Kyle in Michigan, and thanks for the call, is if there are any other women watching, we like predictability. We don't like spontaneous women. We don't like women who keep us on our toes. We don't need that. We have enough of that. Men, we like predictability. We like knowing where our women are. We like to know what they're going to do. We like to know how they're going to respond. We like sameness. Women crave all that excitement and unpredictability. Men, we do not. We don't like that stuff. Be rock steady, stay in shape, put his needs first, and there are no guarantees, but if you do that, he is far more likely than not to stay with you. Again, nobody knows the future. There are no guarantees. There are never any guarantees. All you can do is control your controllables, be the best you can be at all times, and give an honest effort. Don't say that you're going to do it and then not do it, and then try to mitigate your risk. That's the best I can do. Very good call there. Very, very good call there by Kyla in Michigan. Well, she could talk, couldn't she? Area code 773. You're on live with Donovan. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yo, it's your boy Drew, the H-back from Chicago.
Drew, the H-back from Chicago. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yo, man. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in with the list chick. Like, my thing is, why does Steve Harvey continually puts himself in situations like this? He's just a pander to women. He makes the situation worse.
Yeah, this is actually quite simple, Drew. Steve Harvey doesn't believe what he preaches. Steve Harvey wrote that ridiculous novel or whatever, Act Like a Man, Think Like a Woman, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that trash.
Well, here's the thing. Steve Harvey does not endorse what he preaches. He tells women, and I remember a long time ago, he said on the show, you don't have to impress a man. He's the one that has to impress you. Now, let me ask you a question, Drew. If a woman were to step to Steve Harvey, do you believe that Steve Harvey believes that Steve Harvey has to impress women? No. He's Steve fucking Harvey. He's worth over $150 million. He doesn't have to impress anyone.
Fact.
He's Steve Harvey. So, guys like Steve Harvey and Derek Jackson and Matthew Hussey, a lot of guys get upset with these guys. Like, these guys are making the situation worse. And they are, but you have to understand, Steve Harvey is a hustler. He doesn't endorse what he is preaching. Because I can promise you, his wife, the woman he's married to, is nothing like the women he is telling these other women to be. He tells these women be strong and independent, be this, be that, be opinionated, be all that other kind of stuff. I promise you, Mrs. Harvey is none of the things that Steve Harvey tells his audience to be. Never ever forget that. Area code 305. Area code 305, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location? Area code 305. Area code 305 going once. Area code 305 going twice. And area code 305 is gone. Area code 571. Area code 571, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, so big fan. First of all, my name's Adam. I'm calling from the DMV. I just wanted to say I'm a big fan of you, Coach Greg Adams, King Riches, Anthony Spade, all you motherfuckers, man.
Good.
I appreciate so much y'all doing. So I'm going to keep this quick. My one question, I missed the guy who called in about business and stuff, but, like, I'm 24, right? And I'm trying to, like, find some long-term places to invest. Do you have any investing advice for somebody at my age?
Listen, I don't. But what you need to do is you need to go to YouTube. You need to look up Aaron Clarey. Aaron Clarey.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. I'm sitting at work. I got a pencil right
That's
here.
okay. That's quite all right.
Spell his name for me, please.
His name is Aaron Clarey. That is AARONCLAREY. He is a financial.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, he is a financial expert, and I'm actually hoping that he will come on tour with me. I'm hoping that he will come to my tour destinations, because this guy literally wrote the book on how to manage your money, how to make financial decisions. He knows about investment. He wrote a book called Bachelor Pad Economics. Unbelievable. It's not about Bachelor Pad, but what it is it's basically a how-to guide for young people and how they spend their money. Like, it's an incredible book. He's a very, very smart guy. That's the guy I would recommend.
Well, first of all, I didn't know you were going to. Congratulations. Second, that's very insightful, because the reason I'm doing this is because my whole family, we've taught to manage our money pretty well. Mom and dad, my siblings, all in the short term. But we're looking for some long-term stuff, and, like, me especially, I want to do this while I'm young, so I can have some, like, something I put on the side that grows when I get to my 30s.
You're thinking long-term, man. I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world, man, and it's good that you're thinking about the long-term, man. Good stuff. Good for you.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. You good looking with the tour, man. Just want to call and say salute.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, Adam, at the DMV. Hopefully he's not going to be there for too much longer. All right, let us go to area code 920. Area code 920. You're on live with Donovan. What is your name and location? Area code 920. Are you there? Area code 920 going once, going twice, and 920 is gone. Big thanks Goes out to iBramblebush with the $5 super chat. Says, I don't believe in politics, but I know the Dems are totally in bed with blue pill. But how come Republicans aren't red pill or support men's rights? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Well, I think the reason why Republicans don't support the red pill content or men's rights is because the red pill, in a political sense, has been hijacked by the alt-right, right? Guys like Richard Spencer, guys like Rush Limbaugh, guys who, and the alt-right, they're seen as these racist extremists, right? Like, they're not Republicans, but they're definitely not Democrats. The alt-right gets a very, very bad rap, and the alt-right has draped themselves in the red pill flag. This is why Republicans don't support red pill content. That's the one and only reason why, actually. Native Carib Blackfoot just became a member of TSR Towers. I appreciate the support there, my friend. Joshua Wafer with another $25 super chat says, hey, Donovan, I listen to your show and I'm currently a 27-year-old college student and you are very inspiring to me and I can't get enough of your words of wisdom. So thanks for all you do. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you very much, Josh. Josh donated $20 earlier and he just dropped another $25. So I appreciate Joshua Wafer. Appreciate that. The Steel Curtain with the $10 super chat says, I stumbled upon your show a couple of weeks ago and have been binging ever since. This is one of the best shows in productions. Invest in yourself. These hoes ain't loyal. Ain't that the truth? These hoes definitely ain't loyal. Last caller of the day. Area code 4. Oh, wait a minute. Oops. I guess they dropped. All right, well, we had another caller. For whatever reason, I guess they dropped off. I wonder what happened. That was a little bit weird. Excellent show today, guys. Excellent show today. I think we topped out at just over 1,500 viewers. I think right now we've still got 1,000 people watching, which is unbelievable. 2 hours into the show. Man of War 347. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in the chat. My thanks to my super chatters, Joshua Wafer, Falcon RS, Thomas Munier, Brian Washington, MT909 for 5557, iBramblebush, Blatant, Sergio Cordoba, Ace in Spades, Theo K, Myron Gaines, Steven, Ashish Kaushik, I think, Theo K, State of Mike, Native Carib Blackfoot, iBramblebush again, Joshua Wafer again, and the Steel Curtain. I appreciate the super chats. I greatly, greatly appreciate the support. I'm going to go down and lift some weights, see what's going on with that. My thanks to all of my callers. Brian in New York, Kumar in Texas, Devanshu from Nepal, Jeff in Florida, Harold in Texas, Greg in New Jersey, Jose in Fort Lauderdale, David in Harrisburg, Crazy Ass Ex Nigga, Sanchez in New York, Michael in Philly, Shabazz in Baltimore, Robert in Little Rock, Ronell in Daytona Beach, Florida, Kevin in New Jersey, James in Texas, Kyle in Michigan, Drew in Chicago, Adam at the DMV. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.